And when a kid is born in China, the parents need to register them a Hukou. Have you ever heard of this term? How many of you have heard of this term? Okay, yeah, I try to explain to many of the foreigners. None of them can fully understand this, but you will just understand some of the main point, and then through the whole presentation, you will see what is related to this. When you were born, you will get a Hukou, and it's a sort of domestic passport, a kind of ID. It's a family-based registration program, and all of your rights and your social benefits are very strictly related to this Hukou system. But everybody get a different type, so you will just understand basically like it's a kind of permit. So with the different kinds of permit, you will going to get access of different levels of social benefits. So let's have a look the main type. There are basically two main types of the Hukou. It's divided into village ID and city ID. I put that into black and red because basically that's a booklet, like so big. And for the city ID, it's red, and for village ID, it's blue. The color can tell you what it is. Let's first say what's the difference between village ID and city ID. Like I said, you will enjoy the different social benefits. And for the city ID people, they have a nice job, and their kids can go into a proper school. And when they get sick, they can go into a hospital. And when they get retired, they have pension. And what's the village people do? And the village ID people, they will work like day and night at their farmland. Their kids can also go into a school, but the whole school, maybe there are only 2 or 3 teachers. So they're more like babysitting than teaching. And when they get sick, they can only go in to see the doctor in their village, but there is only one doctor in the whole village. And this doctor learn all of these medical skills from his parents or even grandparents. So, and also they don't have any pension, so it doesn't make any difference whether they get retired or not. They just work day and night in the farmland until one day they cannot continue to work anymore, and then they will be financially supported by their kids. So you can see the city ID, they have a lot of benefits. So everyone wants to have a city ID. It's also another difference is that it's like if you get registered in a small city, and if you go into a big city, you don't have the rights there. So you can say the purpose was keep people where you are. So you don't go into another place. The village people don't go into the city because there you don't have all of the rights. And the city, in a small city, they don't go into Beijing. So at the beginning of this program, it was launched in 1958. So at the beginning, it works very well. Everybody stays where you are. Everybody not rushed into the city. You can imagine all the social facility at that time is very limited. If everybody rush into the city, and then it will be totally a mess. Whether you can change this or not. So if I want a city ID, what should I do? Basically, all of your type, your village or the city, they will stay whole of your life. They don't really change. And the place, it always bound to your birthplace. You don't go into another place. It's different like in Holland. If you were born in Eindhoven, you register going to the Eindhoven gemeente. And then if you move to Arnhem, and then you are going to register there. In China, this Hukou, this ID, they don't move. It always stay in your birthplace. There are several circumstances. It's possible to change your ID type or change it to another place. But like a lot of laws in China, the possibilities are there, but in fact, it's almost impossible. But one of them is quite possible is that if you admitted going to a university or a college, and then you can change your village ID to city ID. Or if you're at a city, if your Hukou is in a city, and then if you go into a bigger B city to study, and then your Hukou can go with you because all of the social benefits are bonded. And unfortunately, my mother have a village ID, so I automatically got a village ID. So the only way to change my life, to have a better life in the city, to have the benefits of kids' education and going to a hospital, to have a secure life, is going to admit it into a university. So all of them, my parents and all my family, they will give me this education tool, is that if you want to have a better life, you need to study and study hard to get admitted into a university. Otherwise, you're just going back to the farmland to work. So, and this is the first primary school I went to. In China, every kid went to school when they are 6 years old. So before 6 years old, you can stay at home or you go into the kindergarten. That's not really a problem. But nowadays, most of them go into the kindergarten. This picture, in fact, was not at that time. It was taken when I would like to going back to see my birthplace before I came to Holland. It's in 2013. It's totally different, except this thing. Because my birthplace, that place is very famous for the coal mineral. So that thing is transfer all of the coal from the underground and then to this place. So all of the trucks can come here to get all of the coal mineral. And yeah, I remember when I was young, and it's very difficult to keep a white shirt white. It's always black and very easily just to go dirty. And if this time you think back, it's not difficult to explain. You basically play with all of the dust the whole day. Later on, when I have 5 years in this primary school, and my father get a chance to pay 8,000 Chinese RMB yuan, it's about 1,000 euro, and then we can live the whole life in an apartment in the city. So we don't have the property. We cannot sell it, but we can live there until we die. So 8,000, it's about 1,000 euro. My father and mother, they think, yeah, if we move to a city, all of these living costs and other costs will increase. But they think, yeah, if it's better for our education, and if it's better chance for us to have a better life, let's do it. So we moved into the city. It's not this one, but more or less the same one. This one is on the top floor because that's cheapest. It's a 2-bedroom, about 70 square meters. Yeah, that's basically is. We can live there a long time, and immediately we will meet our first problem. We cannot go into the school because we have the village ID. We don't have the city ID, so we don't have the rights going to the school there. And then what? And we need to pay a higher tuition fee. And both my brother and me, we need to pay 1,400. It's about 175 euro for whole of our primary period. So basically, it's still the whole primary school 6 years. So about five years for my brother and 1.5 years for me. So if you think that if you pay 8,000, you can live in an apartment whole of your life, and 1,400 was quite a lot, and we don't have that money. And even the 8,000, we need to borrow from the relatives and also get other support from other person. So, but we need to solve this problem. And one thing at that time very popular was you're going to bribe somebody, because basically in one organization there is only one person going to decide whether it's just a fine or not. In this case, it's the school principal. If the school principal said you need to pay, and then you need to pay. If the school principal said, okay, it's fine, and then you will be fine. And yeah, there are so many successful examples for this corruption. So my father said, let's try that. And my family was very common family. I mean, common is that we're not the people like to say, let's break the rule, or we are super rich, or we are super poor. But we're just very, very timid person, and we're always frightened that we will get any punishment. But my parents said, yeah, let's just try it. So we kind of worried, we are very afraid, but we wait outside of the school principal's office. It's early morning, my mother, my father, and me. We went there, and the school principal come, and he invited us into the office. And after a short introduction of who we are, what our purpose is, and my father gave him the money and the note. So I remember very clearly, he just take the money, and under the table, and he used the fingers to count a bit. So he has an idea how much it is. And after he got that, it's 300. It's about 38 euro. It's 300. So, and he began to laugh very gently and said, no problem. It will be fine. Don't worry. Those kind of things. So my parents, they are also laughing. They're laughing like very humble. And from this experience, it's my first and only bribing experience. And I find it's so hard for me to take that, because my parents, they are very like nice people. They never did anything wrong in their whole life, but they need to be so humble in front of this school principal. It's sort of like, do us a favor, please take this money. But from another perspective, you can say that the things could be so easily solved out in China. One person says yes or no. If you just make this person happy, and then it will be fine. And all in all, it's a system make this happen. Because if this school principal also need to be like sort of checked by other system, he cannot do this. But there's no other system to go in to check this principle. So nowadays, it's not, you will not get any benefit. Look, we even get some advantage. We took sort of like advantage. We need to pay a lot, but we only paid a little bit. But now it's not the case. It's like this person need to say yes. You need to bribe this person. And sometimes you pay much more than you need. And after 1.5 years in the primary school, I immediately get another problem. I have no place to continue my education. Again, I have the village ID.